So now the Tinubu's presidency is running up and down now because the northern senators have accused the president of implementing a 2024 budget that is supposed to be 24 trillion naira has now grown to almost 28 trillion naira, and the question is, where is the extra 3 trillion coming from? Where is the money? Okay, so now the northern senators have come together to call it budget pardon by the presidency. And now the presidency is trying to deny it. There's no budget pardon. How are they going to deny this? Because I don't believe that this government will run without padding budget. Because all of them are there to find a way to make their own money. They will pad. They will pad. So even during Buhari time, budget padding has always been there. What they will tell the public, it will be different from the budget they will be implementing for the year. And that is actually very, very terrible situation. That is the lies of the highest order. A government that tell lies to themselves and to the people because of their selfish interest is actually a bad one, a bad government. So now, because when Buhari was there, other tribes were shouting budget pardon. Now Buhari is gone, Tinubu has entered, pardon has continued. The Northerners are now the people shouting for budget pardon. So let's see what they have to say. Presidency reacts to alleged pardon of 2024 budget. So what is your reaction? So in a statement on Sunday signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nanoga, the presidency denied the report and made clarifications on the budget. The statement read, following the false claims made by Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led federal government is operating two versions of 2024 budget. Okay, we consider it appropriate to inform Nigerians that there is no truth whatsoever in the allegation. Acting under the banner of Northern Senators Forum, Senator Ningi falsely claimed in an interview he granted BBC Hausa service that the National Assembly debated and passed 25 trillion naira as 2024 budget and not 28.7 trillion naira that is being implemented by the federal government. So to begin with, President Tinubu on November 29, 2023, presented the budget of 27.5 trillion to the joint sessions of the National Assembly, made up of the 9.92 trillion recurrent expenditure, debt service 8.25 trillion, and capital expenditure 8.7 trillion. So this was widely reported. He did not present a budget of 25 trillion naira. Contrary to the strange view expressed by Senator Ningi, there was no way the Senate could have debated and passed a 25 trillion naira budget that was not presented to the National Assembly. We don't expect a ranking senator not to pay due attention to details before making wide claims. It is also important to let Nigerians know that the budget that President Bola Tinubu signed into law on January 1st, 2024, as passed by the National Assembly, was 28.7 trillion naira. So the National Assembly, in its wisdom, increased the amount proposed by the executive by 1.2 trillion naira. So in the spirit of democracy, which allows give and take, President Tinubu didn't withhold his assent to the appropriation bill as passed by the National Assembly. We wanted to stress that if the budget figure was increased and made to be different from what the executive proposed, it was the National Assembly that jacked it up in exercise of its power of appropriation. So on the uncharitable claim that the 2024 budget was anti-North, we found such position as canvassed by Senator Ningi, as too far-fetched and unbecoming of a leader of his status. President Tinubu is leading a government that is fair and equitable to every part and segment of Nigeria. So in terms of funding, distribution of capital and priority projects, the 2024 Appropriation Act was not skewed against any section of the country. So the North, as an integral part of the country, is well covered in all areas, from security to to agriculture, healthcare, to education and other important infrastructure, such as roads, rails, dams, power, and irrigation projects to support all year-round agriculture. So it is concerning that a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can employ such primordial antics to fuel divisive rhetoric at a time well-meaning Nigerians are joining hands with President Tinubu to raise the spirit of national cohesion, unity, and inclusive politics. Wow. This is not English. So we want to use this opportunity to commend Senator Yemi Adaramodu, Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, for setting the record straight. We also commend Senator Steve Sunday Karimi Kogi, Titus Tatenga Zam Benue, and Kakashu Boronu to their forthrightness and for coming out against the misrepresentation of facts by Senator Ningi. President Tinubu is a firm believer in the rule of law and constitutional democracy. As an avowed Democrat, he would not engage and indulge in any constitutional or unconstitutional action or act in any manner that assaults the Constitution of Nigeria by operating any budget outside one approved by the National Assembly, which is dutifully signed into law. So we want to state categorically that the only 2024 budget that is being implemented is the 28.7 trillion naira budget passed by the National Assembly and signed by the President, including the budget as statutory transfers to the Judiciary, National Assembly, TED Fund, and others. So now they have denied that there's no budget padding. That's what I say now. And now the chairman of the Senate Committee on Information has also come out to say there's no budget padding. So does it mean that Senator Ningi did not look very well? Has anybody seen that budget that was signed into law, the original copy of it, or rather, even if it is a digital or soft copy that is online, has anybody seen it? Because it will be difficult to believe that any government in Nigeria will not pad. Very, very difficult. It's been their tradition, it's been their culture until leaked during Buhari time, but they didn't even stop from there. After trashing the matter, they still continued, and they will have a reason of bringing out supplementary budget to tell you that the budget has skewed and they need to add money to it. And I won't be surprised if between now and December, supplementary budgets are cropping up left, right, and center. Of course, that is their strategy of pardon if it couldn't enter directly into the document prior to approval. This one is serious, I'm telling you. So somebody is reacting here, and he said, when they speak, you will think they love the North. They are defending. If it were so, with all the opportunities that they have through their hold on power accrued to their personal selves in the name of the North would have been an El Dorado today instead of being the encumbrances of the growth of Nigeria. All the bad news in the country today majorly are from the North, and they held power for so long a time and still cannot make the North develop. Maybe Hausa Service is the platform they can go to blackmail through their propaganda, since they know that that is where their uneducated ones go to get news about Nigeria. So all they are doing is to blackmail for 2027 presidential election, which they are gearing for, even when this government is barely a year old. Even the Tinubu government that is less than a year is already strategizing for 2027. So all the regions will definitely be strategizing for 2027. So that is a no-brainer. The budget would be anti-North as long as the proposed expenditure is not skewed towards construction of a rail line from the not to Niger Republic. This is rubbish. Ningi should be suspended. Okay, now go and suspend him first. All right? Make we hear word with pardon every budget cycle. Why do you think the Constitution stipulates that the budget should be passed to the National Assembly for legislative input before signing into law? Isn't it because they have the power to reduce or increase the budget funds? But every time they attempt to perform their statutory function, some half-baked journalists will scream pardon, and the entire country will be agog, dancing towards not get lost. That is your own. This government in Nigeria, especially PC government, cannot survive without pardon. It is in that pardon that they put the money they want to share among themselves. So even though there's no proof yet, but I can't deny for them. That is it. Senator Ningi that made that claim probably has facts before himself that he's going to use to buttress his claim. Okay, so he's an insider, he's a senator, so you cannot say he doesn't know what he's saying. He knows exactly what he's saying. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.